I'd like to call tonight's meeting to order. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of our District 5 Board of Trustees, we'd like to welcome you and thank you for being here tonight. I'd like to start off tonight's meeting with a notice to the media. Spartanburg County School District 5 has complied with the requirements of the Freedom of Information Act in notification of the media and other interested parties and organizations and posting of the agenda. Next, I'd like to recognize our Board Secretary, Mrs. Meredith Gergley, for tonight's prayer. Mrs. Gergley.
Please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you with gratitude for the opportunity to serve our schools, our students, and our community. We ask for your wisdom as we make decisions that will shape the education and well-being of the children entrusted in our care. Grant us clarity of mind, unity of purpose, and hearts committed to what is right and just. Help us to listen with respect, speak with integrity, and act with courage. May our decisions be thoughtful, our actions be guided by compassion, and our leadership reflect humility and service. We lift up our new board members tonight as they begin their service. Grant them with confidence, insight, and a deep sense of calling. Help them feel welcome, supported, and empowered as they learn and contribute. Bless them with wisdom, patience, and a collaborative spirit as they join in this important work. We pray for our superintendent, our administrators, teachers, staffs, parents, and especially our students. Protect them, guide them, and help our schools be places of learning, growth, safety, and opportunity. May all that we do be the good for our children and strengthening of our community. Amen.
Thank you for that prayer, Mrs. Gergley. I do need approval of tonight's agenda. Do I have any comments or questions about tonight's agenda? Being that I hear nor see none, we will consider tonight's agenda approved. Also need approval of the minutes of the November 24th, 2025 board meeting. Do we have any comments or discussions about those minutes? Being that I hear nor see none, we will consider the minutes approved for the November 24th, 2025 board meeting. Really appreciate everybody coming out tonight. I know it's been a while since we've met. We have not met as a board since November. We were going to do the special recognition in January. I don't know if it's any warmer than it was in January, but hey, we don't have any snow or ice tonight. So we'll turn it over to Melissa Robinette at this time for special recognition. Mrs. Robinette. Oh, I'm sorry, we do have that. Sorry, man, I'm getting ahead of that. I'd like to recognize Dr. Randall Gary for swearing to the new board members. Y'all are already sitting up here. So. Huh? That's all right, I'm glad you called.
Thank you so much. Good evening. We appreciate you guys coming. As you are aware, this past November, we had an election where the constituents of our district had the opportunity to go to the polls and elect school board members. Tonight, we want to swear in our school board members. We have 2 new school board members and 3 incumbents. So I'm going to call your names out. If you could please come and stand here, and we'll go through the oath of office. We have Mrs. Amy Faulkner, Dr. Caroline Ford, Mr. Kevin Good, Mr. Scott Clement, and Dr. Millie Malone. Thank you. If you could please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I am duly qualified according to the Constitution of this state to exercise the duties of the office to which I have been elected, and that I will, to the best of my ability, discharge the duties thereof, and preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of this state and of the United States. So help me God. Congratulations, and thank you for your commitment to our students and our community.
Thank you, Dr. Gary. Do want to take a minute just to, on behalf of the board, again, welcome our new board members and returning board members as well. So congratulations. Now, let's get to the special recognition part of it. I guess the cold weather's kind of messed with my brain cells a little bit, but I'd like at this time, I'd like to recognize Mrs. Melissa Robinette for the special recognition. Mrs. Robinette.
Well, thank you, Mr. Boland. Good evening, Mr. Boland, Dr. Gary, board members. Thank you for this opportunity. I guess we can say, as you said, better late than never. Of course, we intended to have this celebration last month, then had a little run-in with Mother Nature, had a little bit of snow and ice, and so after a couple of reschedulings, here we finally are. I want to thank our students, our principals, even some of our media specialists who have come here tonight for this occasion. Typically, we have done this in January, because that month, as you all know, is designated as School Board Recognition Month in South Carolina. It's a time we set aside to recognize and show appreciation for the work that you do and school boards across our state in shaping the future for our students and schools here in South Carolina. So over the last month or so, we know many of you have gotten the red carpet treatment. You've gone to schools, done school tours, had meals, and gotten an up-close look at many of our schools and the wonderful work that our students and teachers are doing inside and outside of the classroom. As is our tradition here in District 5, as a token of our appreciation, we have each of our schools adopt a board member for School Board Recognition Month. So tonight we have student representatives here with us. They each come with a book selected especially for you. As a symbol of our thanks, you will receive one copy, and then the other will be placed in each school's media center as a permanent reminder of your service and contributions to our board. So we will begin. And students, I want to add, just as I call your name up here, your board member will meet you up here. We'll take a quick photo. Mr. Patton will. And then Miss Lister, raise your hand, Miss Lister. She will have you off to the side. We don't want any of our student representatives to sit down because we'll gather for a group photo at the end with all of the board members. So just look for Miss Lister once you take your photo. So we're going to begin with Ava Harper from Abner Creek Academy. She'll be honoring board member Mark Cleveland tonight. Come on up, Mr. Cleveland. Abner Creek has selected the book The Humble Pie by Jory John. Ava brought some artwork as well. Oh, she said, thank you for providing Skittles for our whole school. Next, we'll move on to Barry Shoals Elementary School and student Walker Ray. Barry Shoals is honoring our board chair, Mr. Jeff Boland, tonight. They have selected the book, this is a long one, The Observologist, A Handbook for Mounting Very Small Scientific Expeditions by Gazelle Clarkson. Next, we have Catherine McAllister from Duncan Elementary School of the Arts. They are honoring board member Derek Watshorn with the book, this is ideal for this time of year, The Big Snowdown by Katie Hudson. And one of our newest additions to the board, Dr. Carolyn Ford, come on up. She is next. She's being actually recognized by 2 schools tonight. We have 14 schools and 9 board members, so some of our board members are lucky enough to get 2 schools. We'll start with Lyman Elementary School and student Sadira Jones. They have selected the book Wind Watchers by Mecha Archer. And Dr. Ford, will you please stay up here because we have our student body secretary from Burns High School, Mr. Kyle Gary, coming up next. He's also honoring Dr. Ford tonight. They have selected what you'll find out is a very popular book, The Traveler's Atlas of the World by National Geographic. That is amazing. Up next, our second new addition to the board, Miss Amy Faulkner. Why don't you come on up with us? She's also being thanked by 2 schools tonight. We're going to start with Lucy Malone from Reedville Elementary School, who brings the book Everyone Belongs by Heather Avis. Thank you, Lucy. Stay. And we also have student Ayana Brown from Burns Freshman Academy here. BFA has selected the book Paris, the quintessential coffee table book. I know you've been to Paris, Ms. Faulkner, so this is a good one for you. By Jacqueline Melgren. There we go. Thank you, Ms. Faulkner. Next, I'm going to invite board member Mr. Kevin Good to come on up. He is also being thanked by 2 schools this evening. We'll start with student Cameron Carroll from River Ridge Elementary School. He is bringing the book The Marvelous Now by Angela DeTerlizzi. And next we have student Kira Ballinger from Florence Chapel Middle School. There she comes. Kira brings the book, hold on, Stalactite and Staglamite, A Big Tale from a Little Cave by Drew Beckmeyer. Up next, we have student Grayson Thomason here from Tiger River Elementary. They are recognizing board member Dr. Millie Malone tonight with the book The North Star by Peter H. Reynolds. And Dr. Malone is also being recognized tonight by D.R. Hill Middle School and student J.T. Arianis. He brings with him a popular book, The Traveler's Atlas of the World by National Geographic. Next, I'd like student Jackson Moss from Welford Academy to join me up here. Welford is honoring board member Meredith Gergley tonight with the book A Letter to My Teacher by Deborah Hopkinson. And Ms. Gergley is also being honored tonight by students Grant Linkus and Evan Manook from Abner Creek Middle School. Why don't you guys join us up here? They're bringing the book, you guessed it, The Traveler's Atlas of the World. And finally tonight, last but not least, Mr. Clement, why don't you join us up here? Mr. Scott Clement, our last board member, we have student Fabrizio Vasquez Barron from Beach Springs Middle School here to honor you. Beach Springs has selected the book, The Angler's Bucket List by John Bailey. And let's give one last round of applause for all of our students and, of course, our board members as well.
If you've never seen the this young man do a magic trick, do yourself a favor and ask him to show you a card trick.
All right, board members, if you would, join us up front, and we will take a group picture. Parents, as soon as we get the students set, you're welcome to stand behind Mr. Patton here and take a photo on your cell phone if you'd like. So we'll give us a couple minutes to just gather everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are more than just students up here tonight. These are leaders, our future leaders, and they may not know it, but they're also role models in their schools and in their community, and they should be very, very proud of that. We appreciate the hospitality. Thank you for taking us around your schools and showing us all the activities and great things that you're doing. Again, you're here because you're a leader, and we're very proud of how you represent your school, our school district, and also outside the District 5 community. So again, thank you for the recognition tonight. Keep it going. Thanks, guys. Let's get them. All right, y'all.
Thank you so much. All right, we have a lot of students here for special recognition tonight. As you all know, all you have to do is mention the name Rebel Regiment, anywhere in the greater Duncan, Lyman, Welford, Reedville community. Folks around District 5 and beyond know exactly who you're talking about. This year has been another banner year for our Burns High School Marching Band of more than 230 members, making it to the finals of the Bands of America Regional in Johnson City, Tennessee, and at the Bands of America Super Regional in Indianapolis, where they face some of the nation's most outstanding bands. The Rebel Regiment also made it to finals, which is a feat that has never before been accomplished by this program. In October, you know, we were thrilled to celebrate that they had been selected to march in this year's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And then to cap it all off in November, they marched their way to the band's 26th upper state title. So that was in November. We don't meet in December. Obviously, we know what happened in January. So tonight, we are thrilled that we are finally getting to recognize our band. You can see that 230 plus members don't fit in this cafeteria, so we have invited our drum majors and section captains to join us here tonight, along with, of course, Director Chris Moss. So I'm going to ask Mr. Moss to join me up here. It is a busy time of year, so all of his assistant directors are not necessarily here tonight, but I do want to verbally recognize them. Of course, Tom Paget, Jared Mabry, AJ Pace, and Philip Cohen. So, Mr. Moss, I'm going to give you these, and I'm going to recognize your students as I call them up. So we'll start with your drum majors, Noah Ryback, Kylie Stacker, Kinsley Pearson, and Job Ignacio. And students, stay up here with Mr. Moss so we can get a group picture of the band as well. Then we'll go on to band captains, Javon Brown and Emma Howard. Join us up front if you're here. Color guard captains, Summer Lee, Addison Cortez, and Mia Dunn. And then finally, percussion captains Lillian Alleman and RJ Cummings. Can we give a big round of applause for our Rebel Regiment Marching Band? Mr. Moss is humble. He steps off to the side. He needs to be up here too. Thank you again. And now I'm going to turn over our recognition portion to Dr. Russ Howard for some athletic accomplishments that we want to recognize tonight.
Thank you, Melissa. Dr. Gary, distinguished board members, thank you for this opportunity. We have quite a few football players to recognize. As Melissa said earlier, we would have done this earlier, but the season extended and then the snow got us, so here we are. Coach Shaw, if you would come on up, please. Help Melissa hand these out. We're going to start off with some local recognition. The Touchdown Club recognized Trey Segura as the Greer Touchdown Club Offensive Player of the Year. Trey couldn't be with us. He's playing soccer over at Nixon. They got a scrimmage tonight. Justice Hopkins, Lineman of the Year, and Coach Reggie Shaw was Coach of the Year, and this is the Greer Touchdown Club. Two of our football members was selected to participate, well, one member, to the Shrine Bowl, Justice Hopkins. And then Coach Matthew Love coached in the Shrine Bowl, but he couldn't be here, previous family engagement, and they represented Burns High School in the Shrine Bowl. North-South All-Star was Josh Garifo. Josh, come on up. North-South All-Star. The Blitz All-Star games are a senior game and a junior game. Justice Meredith was our senior selection to the Blitz All-Star game. We had 4 selectees to the Junior Blitz All-Star Game: Aiden Wiggins, Trey Segura, Wykel Moss, and Josiah Chambers. All-Region, Offensive Player of the Year, All-Region, Trey Segura. Defensive end, Justice Hopkins. Offensive line, Josiah Chambers. Justice Meredith, offensive line. Jason Buckley, tight end. Tyler Clark, linebacker. Octavius Davis, linebacker. Jackson Delaney, defensive end. Channing Harris, wide receiver. Aiden Wiggins, defensive back. And Jacoby Fuller, kick returner. You want one group? Slide all the way there, Coach.
Thank you, Mrs. Robinette and Dr. Howard. Thank you again. Really appreciate, again, everybody being here tonight. It's important to us as board members that you're here so that we can not only recognize you, but also celebrate with you as well. To the members of the band that are here, believe it or not, your very own board chair was a band roadie last year. My son is in the band, and we followed you everywhere that you went. The two things that make me really proud of the Rebel Regiment, besides you guys just being a fantastic band, there's two things I'm really proud of. One is when you're in Indianapolis, Indiana, in the Lucas Oil Stadium, and when you guys come onto the field, there are more fans there for the Rebel Regiment than there are high schools 15 miles down the road. So that's just an incredible feeling. And then the way that you guys represent our district and our high school all the way in Indiana or Johnson City, and you're going to do the same in New York City, is just incredible. So again, congratulations on a great season, and we're very, very excited about 26 as well. To the members of our football team, hey guys, that weightlifting in January, the spring drills, the summer workouts, running the same old plays over and over again, it all paid off. And you guys had a great season last year, tons of awards, and once again, we're very, very proud of how you represent yourself both in the community and outside the community as well. And we wish you all the best and a great season coming up in 26 as well. So with all that being said, really appreciate everybody being here tonight, and we'll take a brief recess at this time. Thank you. Call the meeting back to order at this time. We will now move into our action items, and the first action item will be election of new board officer elections. We will have election of a new chair for our school board, vice chair, and secretary, and they will be 2-year terms. Before we get into election, I do want to thank 2 special people on this board. Mr. Cleveland's been a fantastic vice chair over the last 4 years. He's been the longest-running board member here and just does a fantastic job serving this board and giving back to our community. I understand you gave Skittles to everybody at the school. They obviously have not forgotten about that. So thank you for all that you do. And Mrs. Gergley, she has been our secretary for the last 4 years. She's our second longest tenure board member here as well and does a fantastic job, just like Mr. Cleveland, giving back to the community. So I want to thank you both for what you do. Moving into the action items, we'll now move into election of new office of the chairman. We will move on with that right now. I'd like to make a motion that Dr. Millie Malone be our next chair of our District 5 School Board. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mrs. Gergley. Is there any additional nominations, questions, or comments at this time? Being that I hear nor see none, we will now prepare for a vote. We have a motion that has been made for Dr. Millie Malone to be the next chair. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of Dr. Millie Malone becoming the next chair of the District 5 School Board, please do so by raising your right hand. Motion carries 8-0. Congratulations, Dr. Malone. We will now move into the nomination of the vice chairman. Do we have any motions at this time for next vice chair?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to nominate Jeff Boland for our vice chair.
Thank you, Mr. Cleveland. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Watchhorn. Any additional nominations, comments, or discussions at this time on nomination of vice chairman?
Just like to make a statement to thank you, board members. Enjoyed our 4 years. Meredith, Jeff, the team was awesome, and we have the best board in the state of South Carolina. We don't mind going online telling everybody, because what you see out here tonight is how we operate. We welcome the 2 new members to our board. We work faithfully, hard, every day for every child.
Thank you, Mr. Cleveland. Any comments or discussions or additional nominations for vice chairman? We have a motion for Jeff Boland to be vice chair of the school board. It's been seconded. We'll now prepare for a vote. All those in favor of Jeff Boland being the vice chair for the District 5 School Board, do so by raising your right hand. Motion carries 8-0. Thank you. And last but not least, we will move forward with the nomination of a new secretary of the District 5 School Board. Do we have a nomination at this time?
I move that we approve the nomination of Kevin Good for the office of secretary.
Thank you, Mrs. Gergley. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Cleveland. Any additional nominations for secretary or comments or discussions at this time? With that being said, we have a motion for Kevin Good to be the new secretary, and it's been seconded. We'll now prepare for a vote. All those in favor of Kevin Good being the new secretary of the District 5 School Board, please do so by raising your right hand. Motion carries 8-0. At this time, if you'll give us just a few minutes, we've got to play musical chairs here, and we'll turn the action items over to Dr. Millie Malone.
All right, musical chairs has ended. Let's get this show on the road. I want to start by thanking my fellow board members for the trust you put in me. It means a lot to have the respect of your peers, so I appreciate that. And I will do my best to represent us well and the district well. I also want to stop and thank Mr. Boland for his service for 4 years. There's countless phone calls, meetings, hours that no one sees, but we see it, and we thank you. So we appreciate that. Okay, we will get back to our action items tonight. As board chair, it is my responsibility per board policy BDE to appoint members to serve on our committees. We have 3 committees: Finance, Policy, and Curriculum and Education. We will start with Finance. Finance is going to be chaired by Mr. Derek Watchorn. He will serve with Mr. Jeff Boland and Dr. Millie Malone. The Policy Committee will be chaired by Mrs. Meredith Gergley, and she will serve with Mr. Scott Clement and Ms. Amy Faulkner. And the Curriculum and Instruction Committee will be chaired by Mr. Kevin Good, and he will serve with Mr. Mark Cleveland and Dr. Caroline Ford. It is also my responsibility to appoint 2 members to the R.D. Anderson board, and I am going to appoint Mr. Mark Cleveland and Mr. Scott Clement. They are already currently working and doing a great job with them, so we're going to keep that going. This concludes our action items tonight, and we will move on to the report section. We will begin by recognizing Ms. Penny Denini for the budget calendar.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Gary. It's been a couple months since we've seen y'all. Appreciate your patience. Some of my reports tonight will be a little bit delayed because of the snowstorm and other things, but we appreciate your time this evening. First off, we have a tentative board calendar for you to review, with our first budget work session being on April 24th, which is a Friday, with the second budget work session on May 15th. We should have some of our revenue numbers in by then and be able to work on kind of nailing down our budget at that meeting. On May 29th, we'll have our public notice that's required to run in the newspaper, and we will present our final budget for approval along with the hearing on the board meeting night of June 15th. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Let's try that again. Thank you, Ms. Denini. Any comments or questions for Ms. Denini or the administration? All right. We will continue with Ms. Denini. You're going to stay right there for the quarterly financial report.
Yes. And before you have our quarter ending December 31st, 2025 financial statement. We do reports quarterly, so I know it's a little delayed again. But in looking at our actual revenue on the report at December 31st, we're about halfway through the year, but we have collected less than 15% of our budgeted local revenue and approximately 44% of our budgeted state revenue. Revenue is tracking a little lower than in the past. This quarter last year, we had collected approximately 32% of revenue, and we're currently tracking at 29.5%. On the expenditure side, for instructional services, we are tracking pretty much as budgeted. And then as we move down to the support services, transportation expenses are tracking a little bit higher than we had budgeted. It seems to be a never-ending battle to catch up with that overtime pay rate that we're having to pay, but rumor has it we're fully staffed on bus drivers, so maybe that'll help us out continuing through the end of the year. Overall, we anticipate finishing the year in budget, but you will notice at this point in time that expenditures are exceeding revenue by $21,673,381, which is normal for this time of year. As I told you in October, we won't see a positive number there until the end of the March, for the quarter ending March 31st report. Again, and I say this every quarter, this is why it's so important for us to have that healthy fund balance to carry us through. The majority of our local revenue is homeowner property taxes, which isn't collected until late December, early January, so it's a little while before we see that revenue coming in. So that's why it's important that we have that board policy where we keep 15 to 20% of our budget for fund balance. But that concludes the quarter ending December 31st report.
Thank you. Any comments or discussion for Ms. Denneny or the administration? Mr. Cleveland?
Ms. Denneny, as always, thank you so much for how you keep us abreast of our financial situation. And for our new board members, will you explain to them why we're under, so they will know by March we will come back?
Why our revenues are, why our expenses are exceeding revenue?
Right.
Like I said, the revenue from our local property taxes is not coming in yet. We still have to make our payroll in those fall months before that revenue starts coming in. Our state revenue doesn't start coming in until August, September, so we're running 2 to 3 payrolls before we start to see revenue in the current year. So it is important that we have that fund balance. But the tide, I promise, the tide's going to turn by March 31st, and you will see the revenue exceed expenditures at that point.
Any other questions? Mr. Watchorn?
Just real quick, you said that the revenue's tracking lower than last year. Anything impacting that, or?
The timing of the tax bills going out always has a slight effect on that. I stress out every year if it's a little bit lower, but they always come. They've come through every year, but it's
just
because we don't send out the bills. So if they send them out a week late, then it's people are paying a week later. Some people might wait until to pay the due date before you get a late fee incurred, so some people wait then, so it's just, we're at the mercy of the people paying their taxes.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you.
Anything else? All right, thank you, Ms. Denneny. We will keep you up there for one more report, and we'll welcome Ms. Casey Austin to join her for the annual audit report.
Okay, and I'm going to start with the financial audit for the 24-25 fiscal year. Normally, you receive this report at the November board meeting, but due to the federal government shutdown in the fall and due to the winter closings, we had been delayed. So we'll get started. For those of you that were on the board, we did have a finance committee meeting in November where our auditors went over the report with y'all. Nothing has changed in the numbers since then, so everything shook out as it had been presented there. So, but on, let's see. First thing I wanted to point out is that second paragraph under opinions. In our opinion, this is the auditor's report. In our opinion, the accompanying financial statements present fairly in all material respects the respective financial position of governmental activities, each major fund and aggregate remaining fund information of Spartanburg County School District 5 as of June 30th, 2025, and the respective changes in financial position for the year then ended in accordance with accounting principles generally accepted in the United States of America. So we have a clean, an unmodified report there. And then there were no prior audit findings to follow up on from the prior year. However, you will see that we did have a finding this year. There was a deficiency was identified but not considered to be a material weakness. The finding related to this was due to the implementation of GASB Guide 2021-01 in fiscal year 24. Prior to the implementation, bulk purchases such as Chromebooks or furniture for a school where a single item was less than $5,000, but total was less than $5,000, they were capitalized. But with the implementation, if you buy a bulk, I'm going to start over because I've messed that all up. With the implementation, prior to the implementation, we only capitalized single items over $5,000. Post-implementation, we capitalized items that were less than $5,000, but if we spent more than $500,000 for them at a time, we would capitalize the bulk purchase. During the review of our financials by the auditor, they found that 2 bulk purchase assets totaling $2,042,542.76 were not capitalized. When they recognized that, we made the adjustment to accurately reflect the capitalization in the financial report. So the report is accurate and does reflect the capitalization. The Finance Department has updated our procedures to prevent this from happening again in the future. Some highlights from the financial statements. The general operating fund balance increased by $3,473,603 over last year. Again, I just mentioned in a previous report why that is important that we keep that fund balance healthy. Due to conservative budgeting and an increase in the number of students, the general fund state revenue received was $4.8 million more than budgeted. The revenue from local sources had favorable variance of $11.8 million. This variance was mainly due to interest income of $8.3 million more than budgeted. A total of $14.2 million more than budgeted was transferred to our capital projects fund. This is used, we'll be using those funds for the new elementary school and the transportation hub that are scheduled to be built in the coming years. On June 30th, 2025, available unassigned fund balance for the general fund was $31,262,401, which is 19.8% of the total budgeted general fund expenditures for 25-26. So we're staying within our board policy. The district's net position increased by $22 million. Program revenues accounted for $73.7 million, or 36.4% of total revenues, and general revenues accounted for $128,950,530, or 63.6%. Excuse me, yes, 63.6. The district implemented another GASB 101, compensated absences this year, which resulted in reporting a liability for anticipated time off to be used by employees in the amount of $2,017,397. The construction projects approved with the November 2nd, 2021 referendum are nearing completion. The final phase for Burns High School should be completed August of 2026. I should say, will be completed August of 2026. And then, rotate that. Exhibit D1 gives a nice overview of all of our funding source. We have over 50 funds with a total revenue of over $203 million and total expenses of $243 million. The general fund balance increased by just under $3.5 million for a total fund balance of approximately $31.3 million. The special revenue fund balance is exclusively pupil activity funds, which increased by a little more than $1 million. And this concludes my report of the financial statement.
Thank you. Ms. Austin?
Good evening. At your places tonight is a copy of our fiscal year 24 procurement audit. And I know I have a reputation of having boring but efficient presentations. And unfortunately tonight, I think I can only hold to one of those. The audit finding was the first in 6 years that we have actually had an audit finding. If you look on page 3, it says 2 and 3 matrix sample right here, there was a sample of 55 procurements, and on one of those there was a purchase order that was dated after the invoice. So in procurement, you need to have purchase order before you authorize the work. I really fought the auditors on this because this particular invoice had to do with Hurricane Helene and tree removal, and so we needed to move efficiently, and so I really fought them on it, but I ended up taking one for the team in the name of improvement, and so we have modified our improvements, or modified our processes to make sure that we are reviewing every month to make sure our invoice dates are prior to purchase orders so that we can, or I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Purchase order dates are prior to invoices. So if we find one that does not do that, we address it and ratify it and move on. And that concludes my procurement audit tonight.
That was pretty efficient, though, I will say. Thank you, ladies. Any questions for the administration on these two items? All right, thank you very much. We will move along in our report section and recognize Mr. Robert Jackson for the personnel timeline.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair, Dr. Gary. Tonight, we present to you our contract timeline for your review. On February the 10th, our principals received their contract levels to review their rosters and recommend those levels back to Human Resources. Tonight, we are sharing this schedule with you. On the 24th, which is tomorrow, the principal's recommendations are due to Human Resources. On the 27th of this month, working retirees must submit their written request to return. That is due to their supervisor, who must in turn return that information to Human Resources. On March 9th, those contract recommendations will be posted online for the board's review. On March 23rd, the board will vote on all recommendations and contracts. On March 24th, principals will receive contract process details at our staff meeting. On March 25th, Human Resources will send contracts out to administrators and teachers. On April 24th, all working retirees will be notified of their employment status for 26-27. And in accordance with state guidelines, on May 10th, on or before May 10th, all contracts are due to the district office no later than 11:59 p.m. With one final caveat, those teachers who are undergoing formal evaluations, those evaluations are scheduled to be completed by April 17th. Therefore, they will receive their contracts on April 20th. That is our contract timeline for 26-27, and I will answer any questions at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Any questions or comments for Mr. Jackson or the administration? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Our final report of the evening, we will do a facilities update with Mr. Ryan Clunan.
Thank you, Dr. Malone. Thank you, Dr. Gary, board. It's been a few months since we've given you a facilities update, and as you would expect, Burns High School has made a lot of progress. Rather, I should say McKnight's made a lot of progress out at Burns High School. I'd like to give you a brief update on Burns, also an update on our Abner Creek Academy teacher and staff access driveway, and a brief update on the Dansville Road widening. So starting with Burns Phase 3, now we have 2 new board members. I'd like to give a very brief layout of the campus to give you an orientation of the different building areas around, since this is a very large project that's spread out across the campus. So if you can see my mouse, here in the center, the white roof area is our Phase 2 building. Those we called building areas A, B, and C. Everything under the black roof is our Phase 3 construction. And so adjacent to our front entrance is area D, and then we go clockwise, E, F, G, and H. So we're going to start on the west side of our campus here at areas G and H. This area includes a new multipurpose gymnasium surrounded by 2 floors of classroom space. This side also has a cafeteria addition. So in areas G and H, the final roof cap sheet, which will be white like Phase 2, will start following our area D roof cap sheet. The window installation is complete around this area. The ceiling device installation is complete on both levels, so that includes our light fixtures, fire alarm, smoke detectors, things like that. The building has permanent power, and the lights are on both levels. That is a huge milestone for any construction project. The HVAC rooftop units, as you can see here, have been installed, and our second floor heat pumps are running. And so the second floor is getting acclimated to temperature and humidity. And so now, starting this week, they are prepping the floor for terrazzo floor in the hallways. The plan is for that to be done in around 2 weeks, and by that time, our first floor heat pump should be running, the building should be getting acclimated to temperature and humidity, and they can begin the prep work for the terrazzo floor on the first floor. I'm going to start showing you some interior photos as they continue to make good progress. So the photo on the left is our multipurpose gym, which is in area G&H, and it is across the hallway from the cafeteria. So right through this wall here is the cafeteria. Along this wall will be a set of telescoping bleachers. And as you can see, they're painting the walls, and they've started painting the roof trusses and the metal deck. The photo on the right is our corridor that wraps around the gymnasium. As I said, 2 floors of classroom space. And you can see here where the ceiling grid is installed and all of the ceiling devices are in place. The cafeteria addition has all of the windows complete, installed. The overhead utilities, so that's our HVAC, electrical, plumbing, fire protection, those are in progress. Exterior patio seating wall is installed here, and our final roof cap sheet is actually being installed this week. So this photo is from outside the addition. You can see the patio seating wall here. There'll be a 6-foot tall black ornamental fence added to the top of the wall, so it'll be 8 feet of separation, and on each end of the patio will be a secure gate. Moving to Area D, this portion of the building that is adjacent to the front entrance. Permanent power actually was turned on in mid-December, and the first and second floor terrazzo corridors have been installed. The first and second floor heat pumps are running, of course, and our final roof cap sheet will begin after the cafeteria cap sheet is completed. Our millwork installation has started. You'll see a photo of that next. Our final paint is in progress, and also our VCT flooring install began last week. So you'll see on the photo on the left is our terrazzo flooring on both levels have been completed. This matches the color and pattern from phase 2. The photo on the right is showing the VCT install and our millwork that has recently been installed. Area D is much further along than the rest of the areas because of the size of the building. So that's why you'll see more progress here than the other areas. And then Area E and F. So Area E, if you recall, was the one lagging behind the most because we were waiting to start building this structure until the retaining wall was built. And so last I presented in November, they were going to start installing roof trusses in early December. And so as you can see, they've installed roof trusses, the roofing, all of the brickwork, all of the stucco work, and the majority of the windows have been done. So they've made really good progress getting this area caught up to the other areas. Of course, overhead utilities, the electrical, plumbing, and HVAC is still in progress. They did pass the in-wall utility inspection so they can start closing up all metal stud interior walls. Window installation is nearly complete with the exception of these 8 on the back of orchestra. Our interior paint will begin next week. The ceiling grid will begin in about 2 weeks. The stucco finish here is complete. This photo was taken prior to them finishing it, but it is complete now. And they will install the final roof cap sheet after they finished areas G and H. So it'll be the last area to get that final cap sheet. So overall, the project is making really good progress. They're on schedule and under budget. I forgot about this picture, I'm sorry. This is the inside of Area E, the Rebel Cafe. We will have a second cafe on the campus. So there'll be one on the east, one on the west to kind of help offset the cafeteria, give students more dining options. Where I'm standing here behind me is the Phase 2 hallway. So you'll walk through Phase 2 to get to this area. Around the corner, it takes you to our fine arts department. And the Rebel Cafe will have access to this secure courtyard where we'll have a covered outdoor eating area. Moving to Abner Creek Academy teacher and staff access drive. When Abner Creek Middle School was built, there became a difficulty for staff and teachers to be able to get into the parking lot without being stuck in the car loop. So the teacher and staff access drive comes off of the bus loop, and we'll have a secure gate there with card access. So as you can see in the photo, the concrete and asphalt paving is complete. All the final seed and straw and cleanup happened this past Friday. The stop arm gate was supposed to be installed today. It's got rescheduled till tomorrow. and our card reader should be installed Wednesday or Thursday. That could also push till Friday. And striping is still scheduled for this Thursday. So if all of that goes as planned, our tentative first use will be Monday, March 2nd.
Mr. Clooney.
Yes, sir.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Thank you so much. You do not know how much joy that has brought the staff
I've heard.
with this
I've heard.
addition. They would be stuck in traffic and be late for class. But with this addition, it has brought the sunshine. And I, as the school representative from the board, say thank you for those guys working expeditiously to get it in a timely manner done. Thank you.
And thank you all for approving it. So I'll move to my final project update. This is one that's been going on for quite a while, the road widening at Danzler Road. As you may recall, we've been at the mercy of DOT, waiting on that DOT permit. We've received that. They started work, and then we've been at the mercy of Duke Energy to get all of their work done. They finally installed the last pole. As of last week, they relocated their electrical lines from the old poles to the new poles, but now we're waiting on AT&T and Charter to relocate their utilities. Once they do that, our site contractor will remove the old poles, they'll finish their grading, and the plan is to pave and stripe during spring break. So we can see the finish line. Hopefully, at our March or our April meeting, we'll get there. And I'll take any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Clunin. Any comments or discussion for Mr. Clunin or the administration? Mr. Watchorn?
Will you go to the Abner Creek? So teachers are going in. Do we see any issues with ongoing traffic as cars are coming out of the car loop and they're coming in?
Sure.
Obviously, there's an intersection there. Do we
Right.
see any issues there?
I don't. We'll have signage, of course.
Okay.
This is very similar to what we do it's identical almost to what we're doing at Tiger River.
Okay.
So as cars are exiting the car loop, our teachers will wait for a gap. We're not expecting the parents to wait. We need to get them out of the line, but when there is a gap, the teacher will cross. But there's a stop sign at this intersection here for teachers and staff.
Okay.
And this is I should have said this is ingress only, not egress. So teachers will leave out the same way everyone else leaves. They won't leave through this drive. Does that make sense? This is
Sure.
for incoming traffic, no exiting.
Yes. I got you.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions? Mr. Clement?
Wouldn't you know, you're building a high school and the most attention goes to the teacher access drive. We've got we've got several other projects in the works right now.
We do.
I'm assuming that we're kind of looking at all those things to
We are.
make sure that we don't have to do this later on and kind of find a better way to build the mousetrap.
We are doing that right now in our current projects, correct. I think this was a product of Abner Creek Middle School being built, and I don't think that anyone foresaw the problem, because there was no problem, I don't think, before Abner Creek Middle was built. So we are looking into that with all of our drives, and of course, we're required to do so much stacking by DOT as well, so it makes things longer, makes cars stack up longer. We have to just find a good way to get our teachers and our staff in there quicker. So that's what we're doing.
Thank you, Mr. Clement. Anything else? All right. Thank you, Mr. Clunin. This concludes our report section tonight. Do we have a motion to enter executive session?
I move that we go into executive session for the purpose of discussion of employment matters in reference to new hires, promotion, and resignations.
Thank you, Mr. Good. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Boland. All in favor of moving to executive session for the discussion of employment matters in reference to new hires, promotions, and resignations, please do so by raising your right hand. Motion carries 9-0. We are now in executive session. Good job.
You're doing great, doing great.
They started playing hide and seek with it.
You gotta leave this here, Kevin.
What's that?
All these cables are gonna stay.
Okay, that's fine.
Just gotta be careful. Where do we put the cars? What do you say, Dad?
What's up, man? All we can do is go down right there. You gotta use the little ones sometimes.
Test, test.
All right, we have just returned from executive session where the boards discussed employment matters in reference to new hires, promotions, and resignations. Do I have a motion to return to public session?
I move that we end executive session and return to public session at 8:49.
All right, thank you, Mr. Good. Do I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Faulkner. I have a motion that has been seconded. We'll prepare to vote. All in favor of ending executive session, returning to public session, please do so by raising your right hand. Motion carries 9-0. We are now in public session. Do we have any other motions?
I move that we accept the recommendations of the administration and approve the new hires, promotions, and resignations as presented.
Thank you, Mr. Good. Do I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Gergley. Have a motion has been seconded. We'll prepare for a vote. All in favor of accepting the recommendation of the administration and approving the new hires, promotions, and resignations as discussed. All those in favor, please do so by raising your right hand. Motion carries 9-0. Are there any other motions?
I move that we report the breach of contract of employee A to the state of to the Department of Education as presented and discussed in executive session.
Thank you, Mr. Good. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Cleveland. I have a motion. It's been seconded. We'll now prepare for a vote. All in favor of reporting the breach of contract of employee A to the State Department of Education as presented and discussed in executive session, please do so by raising your right hand. Motion carries 9-0. Are there any other motions?
I move that we approve an academic leave of absence for employee B for the 2026-2027 school year.
Thank you, Mr. Good. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Boland. We have a motion. It's been seconded. We'll prepare for a vote. All in favor of approving an academic leave of absence for employee B for the 26-27 school year, please do so by raising your right hand. Motion carries 9-0. Are there any other motions?
I move that we end the February board meeting at 8:51 p.m.
All right, thank you. Do I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Gergley. All in favor of ending the February 23rd board meeting at 8:51 p.m., please do so by raising your right hand. All right, motion carries 9-0. We are now adjourned. Thank you, guys.